Hey everybody, how's it going? IntoWeapons back again with you. Got a real cool product that I want to share with you guys today. As some of you remember recently, I came out with a video on a new belt system that I had come across. I was trying to get away from the traditional belt. I was using a leather one with the holes in it and the pin that would go through there, and they'd rip, they'd break, they'd stretch out. They were very uncomfortable. You couldn't adjust them very easily. Where I put my holsters on and my phone on, it would end up tearing in those areas, and it was just a kind of a nightmare to have to replace those things every 6 or 7 months for $30 or $40 every time, and it just became very expensive and tedious. So had done a Google search, had used the phrase smart belt, and the first thing that popped up was a company that utilized a whole new different type of design for belt, and it really intrigued me. I bought one. I wore it for 6 or 7 months. It changed my life as far as comfort and ease. I liked it so much. In fact, like I said, I did a review for you guys and kind of shared that information. But the difference between the two was the fact that it used a ratcheting system within the clasp that would allow you to easily slide it in without having to worry about trying to flip over hoops or anything like that and snag it in. It would just kind of slide right in and click into the different positions that it had, and it will allow you to push a button and release that as well very easily. The other main difference was that it allowed you to change the increments by a 1/4 of an inch instead of the typical 1 inch, which was a huge thing if you have a big dinner or something like that. Just to be able to snap it off a 1/4 inch here or there was very, very nice, and it still kept the waist and everything very well contained. It held better than probably any belt I've had before. So, like I said, I released that video to you guys, and still enjoy that belt to this day. It's a great belt, but I did have another company contact me and leave me a comment in that particular video, and that was Core Essentials, and they said, hey, if you like that product, you'll really love our product. And what they were able to do is send me over an example of what they were able to offer, and I have to tell you guys, this particular belt is even better, especially for my situation, I guess. And if you carry things on your belt, such as guns or a phone, it's definitely probably going to be something that's more up your alley as well. But they sent me over their Trakline X1 gun belt, and they have two variations. This is the X1. There is an X2 as well, and you can see it's got a nice looking buckle to it, just like the other one that I reviewed. They're very modern looking. You can wear them with dress pants. They look very nice. So, but I'll show you here in case you're not familiar with the ratcheting system of my previous video. You can see that everything is kind of contained there, but along the bottom here there is a little clasp button that you can kind of manipulate, and essentially what it'll allow you to do is adjust that to each of the different increments that are built into the back of this belt here. And you probably hear it as I close it up. It's hitting each one of those positions. And I can tighten it in as much as I need to here, as long as you don't cut it too short for you, obviously your waist. But as you can see, that's a really neat system. It holds it very, very well. Again, very easy to deploy. If I have a big dinner, I can pop her off, and it's still sturdy. It's still holding me, and it's very inconspicuous when I do that. To get it off completely, essentially, again, just kind of pushing in that button just right there like that, and pulling it through, and it comes right off. And to put it on, pretty much the same thing, just backwards. Essentially, you're just going to put it right through here. Make sure you're feeding it through your loop there, and slide it right into position. Just like that. So very easy. The main difference between this one and the one I previously reviewed was that this one, I guess, initially he had told me was intended specifically for carry things. And I was kind of skeptical at first, thinking, how can you make a belt reinforced, etc. But he sent me the product, and I tell you guys, this thing really blew me away. This thing is a workhorse, and if you're carrying anything from small to large on your belt, this is probably the way to go. The only downside that I've found so far on this belt is that with my dress pants, when I'm dressing up a little bit more for work, because of the thickness and the width of it, it was a little bit tight within my belt hoops of my work pants. And I wear a specific brand of work pants, and that could possibly just be that particular brand. So I couldn't really tell you either way, but that is really the only negative, and that's really not even a negative, of this thing that I've seen so far. So, but again, what you're really looking at here is something that's a little bit thicker compared to my last one, and I'll go over some of the details here once we get it onto the bench. But you can see I have my CCW there, my Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380, and it's tucked in there. I've been wearing this belt for a while now, and it's held together very well. Easy on, easy off. There's nothing unusual about that. You can see there's absolutely no wear there from where my gun rides on a daily basis, probably for the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So it's very durable. It holds up, which is something that a lot of those previous belts that I used to buy never did. It always scratched up for some reason. But this belt and my other belt that I reviewed, it held up very well to that. And then on the other side as well, I have my phone, which, as you can see, I obviously carry on a regular basis as well, and I can pop that off here and show you guys that I have no wear on that as well, just to kind of show what you're expecting when you get into it. But again, no wear whatsoever within that area there. Very well built, very thick, and it works well for a carry situation. It's going to hold these things in there much better. The thickness of it rides and works better with the clips on holsters typically. And overall, it's a much more durable build system because of the reinforcements in there, again, which I'll get into here shortly as soon as I get her onto the bench for you guys. So we'll flip her off and we'll take a closer look. Okay, so we got it on the bench here. I think what we'll do is we'll just take a look at the contents of what came with it. We'll go over the product specs real quick that's listed on the website, and then I'll give you a kind of a close-up on some of the things that I've noticed with the belt, and we'll try to keep it short here. So what came in the box, obviously you have the belt. The belt was contained by this bag here, which has the company logo on it, so that's kind of cool. Also came with the instructions on how to change and use the belt and actually, adjust the sizes and all that good stuff. Very simple, self-explanatory. As you'll notice on this segment that I cut off to make my size, on the back of the belt you actually have the different sizes already pre-listed there for you, which is a really cool feature. My last belt that I had did not have that, so I kind of had to figure it out and play it along the way. What I recommend doing is always picking 2 or 3 sizes bigger than what you think you're going to need, testing it, without cutting it, and then making the cut a little bit larger than what you think. That way you can cut it down a little bit more if you need to, and work your way into a perfect fit. If you cut too much, it's already off. You have to start over from scratch, so you definitely don't want to do that. So this is the extra. What also came with that in the box there is the hanger for the closet, which is a really cool design. I didn't expect to get this, and I assume all the hangers come with, at least the gun belts I'm sure come with it because they're just so heavy. But trying to hang these things in the closets are always a pain in the butt, and this is actually a really cool design, and I always ended up putting it on the wrong way. There we go. And it just kind of clips in there, hangs it really nice. You ain't going to have it falling off. It isn't going to go anywhere. It's a really cool design and a really cool little perk that they throw in there for that. So pretty neat. That's what comes with it. Some of the information on it is, again, this is the Trakline belt, the X1 gun belt. They also have the X2. It runs about $60 plus $3 or $4 shipping and handling. If you do buy something on their website more than $60, it is free shipping to anywhere in the U.S. So that's kind of a cool little perk if you break that threshold. If you do want a little extra tip here, if you use the code KORE15, CORE15, you will get 15% off. So keep that in mind, guys, when you go out there and make your order. The belt itself will fit between 24 and 54 inches, and as I mentioned earlier, you can customize that to make it usable for yourself, and you don't even have to do specific sizes. I mean, you can cut right in the middle of that thing or a quarter way. It doesn't make a difference. So kind of neat. The actual increments on the belt, which is the track itself, which is kind of unique to obviously this particular mechanism, is the track that's built in there, and you can see it's heavily stitched on both sides. It's made out of as far as I know, a polyurethane or something type of material, very hard plastic. And with my last belt, it's pretty much kind of the same design, and I haven't had any issues with slippage, breaking. It's held up perfectly. It almost looks identical to the day I bought it. So I don't expect that this one will ever have any problems as well. It's a very solid design. The leverage that it forces on this, and just again the overall design of it makes it efficient in that manner. So very cool in that respect. Again, 40 size plus adjustments and quarter-inch increments instead of your standard 1-inch increment on your traditional belts. This particular belt also, as I mentioned, is a gun belt. It's specifically made for holding a little bit more than your traditional belt. And when he had first mentioned it was reinforced, I was a little skeptical on how that works. But there is actually a polyurethane, insert in this belt, and I can show you kind of when I did the cut here. You can almost kind of make it out in this, hopefully this video shot. It's going to be that darker middle there. I actually went a step further and spent, oh man, it took me a while to get in here, probably 5 minutes with my sharp knife trying to get into this thing. It's very, very, very solid. It was glued on both sides, and the stitching was very solid. The glue especially was what gave me the problem. But to get down to that polyurethane insert, I mean, it's a solid piece of essentially hard plastic. And with that in conjunction with the sandwiching of the leather and the hard stitching, I mean, this thing is just, it's a workhorse, like I said earlier. So a very, very cool design. I thought that would be worth showing it to you. I wish it was a little easier to get into for my hand's sake, but it is what it is. Compared to, I'd like to show just its competitor and my previously reviewed belt, and the differences between the two. And what you have is the previous one on the top, and then the X1 gun belt there on the bottom. And you can see there is a substantial difference in thickness there, as well as, I believe, well, no, it's about the same width, maybe just a little bit bigger on the X1 side, probably to withstand that stitching around that polyurethane insert. So a very well durable belt that's intended for having things carried on it. Up to 2 pounds, I guess, is what they're rated for. The belt itself here is a high-grade zinc alloy with a gunmetal finish, and the X2 is also very similar. I think it just has kind of more of a flat face. It's not a similar design to this. It's just a a solid face on it. So the other thing on here then is that it is 1.5 inches long, wide and 3.8 centimeters. So that's about it, guys. That's all the product details on there. Give you kind of a close-up on some of the features that I really like about it. This is probably my favorite daily wear. This is really the only belt that I do wear now day to day. Because it is a little bit larger, again, I have a little bit harder time getting it into my dress pants. I think the brand is J. Ferrara, and it's just a cheap brand of JCPenney dress pants that I wear when I need to go to work. And due to the size of the hoops on the the belt rings there of those pants, this is a little bit difficult to get in and out. I can do it. It's just it takes a little bit of doing to get it in there and out. So that's really the only thing that I've noticed with this belt. Otherwise, I love it. I mean, it's a great belt. As you can see, it's got little to no wear at all. In fact, I'd say no wear. It looks almost brand new, like it came out of the box. And I expect that I'll be able to use this belt for years to come. And for the investment of $100, $120 that I was previously spending per year, that is a valuable and wise investment to make. I can guarantee you that. So I give it my thumbs up. I really like it. Remember to use that CORE15, KORE15 discount code if you are going to be ordering one. Save yourself 15%. And if you have any questions, let me know, guys. Otherwise, I appreciate watching. And as always, until next time, take her easy.